So over the past week or so, I've seen a lot of people making videos saying that Elden Ring Nightreign is dying because it's lost a bunch of players since it released. And while the losing players part of that statement is definitely true, because that's what happens with every game after launch, I don't think we can say the game is dead or even dying at this point. I wanted to speak about this because the amount of videos that I've seen of people saying that it's lost 80% of its player base and that the game is pretty much dead, and the amount of people in the comments also saying it. First thing to mention is that yes, the game is going to lose players. It's been out for like, what, 6 or 7 weeks at this point. Of course, when it's brand new, everyone's playing it, everyone's trying it. Some of those players are going to stop playing fairly quickly if they realize that it's not their kind of game or they don't really like it. Other people are probably going to play until they beat the 8 Night Lord bosses, and then they're going to call it quits there. And then there's other players that I think have gotten the most out of the game by playing 100 to 200 hours and then realizing that they've seen pretty much everything that the game has to offer at this point. So they're not going to be playing as much as they were when the game first came out. People have beaten the bosses now many times over. People have played different characters, gotten all the achievements. It's only natural for the game to experience a drop-off in players. That doesn't mean the game is dying. That means that most players have seen everything that the game has to offer at this point. Now, will this game die if it doesn't receive any kind of DLC or huge updates at some point in the future? Absolutely, it will. I've made a video about what I would like to see in Nightreign and its DLC, so you can check that out if you haven't seen it. But one of the big things to create more replayability in this game is it needs more maps. They can add new end of day bosses, new Night Lord bosses, they can add new weapons, new classes, and that will make the game feel new for a bit. But if we're still running around the same map, then it's not going to last too long. You spend the majority of the expedition, like 35 minutes or something, right, in the map, so we need new ones, 100%. Not just shifting Earth events, but completely brand new maps, because that will offer a lot of replayability. Lots of new exploration, lots of new secrets, lots of new things and places to discover, lots of optimization to be done. That's what's going to make the game feel new again for the people that have seen everything that Nightreign currently has to offer. I think it's amazing that we've even got 100, 200 hours out of the game in its current state with one map. Imagine how many more hours, a few classes, a few new bosses, and a couple maps would bring to the game. Now, if the DLC releases and the content is underwhelming, that's when we should have the discussion, is Elden Ring Nightreign dying? Because that will probably be the only major content that we get for the game, at least for a long time. So if they don't make use of it, then yeah, it's probably going to lose its players. But no, the game is not dying. It's losing players because people have done everything that can be done in Nightreign. And you might say, well, that means it's dying then, because those players are leaving the game and they're not playing anymore. That's not necessarily dying when those people still enjoy the game and will absolutely be coming back when they release more content. Who would have thought that adding more content to the game will bring players back? Another thing that doesn't help is that they aren't releasing any new Everdark bosses for a couple of weeks. Currently they're just rotating through the first 3 Everdark bosses, but soon enough we will see the others get their enhanced versions, and that will bring a lot of players back. I realized that when they stopped releasing the new enhanced bosses, that's when I also stopped playing as much as I was previously. But best believe when they release new ones, I'll be back on the game to farm them for a bit. And I think a lot of people are in the same position. That's really about it. Game's not dying. People are just waiting for new stuff. And there's still a very healthy amount of people playing the game while we wait for those things. That being said, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Definitely subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you all in my next video.